Pisces, welcome to your Astroflower monthly reading, along with your chakras and your aura. We will be going into for the month of March, magical March, I'm calling it, after funny February. And boy, it was February quite funny. It was full of lunacy, shooting balloons out of the sky, weird chemical train crashes. Don't know what that's all about. Various other things going on in this world, but it's helping to bubble things to the surface. Now, I did do a collective reading on this, and it was manic. I'm going to say that. It was a manic experience from my side. Very interesting and very worthwhile seeing how you can fit you into the collective. Very interesting. A lot of changing on the chakras, particular chakras on there, and we'll see that within yours as well. So let's have opened the energy up, and let's just see what the chakras are talking through you, Pisces, in this month. So happy birthday, first things first, I guess. I just twigged. I was just looking at your root chakra, and there is a central point which is very fixed at the moment. There is a little bit of movement at the very bottom of the chakra, and there is a little bit of movement at the top of the chakra, because it's like almost like two legs, pretty much, or two carrots, if you like. And the bottom part of the carrot is there's still a little bit of movement going on there, still a bit of fundamentals going on. Top of it is as well very fundamentals, but in the middle it's very solid. So I think I think it's pretty clear for you what sort of life you want to lead going forward after this birthday, as you come past this birthday period, and for this coming year. And it's basically, how do I do that physically, but how do I now do that as well, sort of like spiritually or energetically or emotionally. But I think it's pretty clear there's certain aspects of it that sort of like where and how, or where and what is pretty obvious for you, but now it's a case of how to put it all together. And that seems to be playing through your root chakra. Let's just have a look at your sacrum and see what's going on there. Okay, this is really balanced. This is really nice. I like this. I've been seeing a lot of signs where it's starting to get a little bit unbalanced, and there was a major thing going on with the sacrum in the collective reading as well, all about the ego. Really interesting. And having a balanced sacrum for you going forward is really good. I think it's made it clear about your desires of what you want for the coming year. And you should be able to feel that and almost know that in there. And it's just putting the little pieces that are left on the situation. So with this nicely balanced and harmonious sort of sacrum, there's a good work play ethic going on here. You seem to be taking time for yourself as much as also investing in your work, but not overdoing it on either side, which is really nice. So let's have a look what's going on your solar plexus. Does make me smile. There's a lot of love there for a lot of people, basically. It's like a really nice cuddly bear. Does that make sense? Obviously the bear without the big teeth and the big claws, that just wants to have a nice cuddle and just kind of it is large. The thing is, the problem with that is, well, it's not a problem because it's the best place for you at the moment is that in regards to, we're still in your birthday season, so your solar plexus may not actually be kicked off totally for some of you. That usually happens a week after the our birthday, and then it kicks in, and then we start heading off down the road that we wanted to be heading off down. And so, but because it's nice and large, it's very welcoming, like a lovely fire. It's quite thick as well. I don't think this is a good month for you to, jump in the car and start things. It might be for some of you if you've had your birthday at the end of February and the beginning of March. it's possible you will start be kicking in by the mid to late March. So then, that might be able to release that potential, because at the moment you have a solar plexus that has a lot of potential in it. And that potential can spark amazing things within you. It can spark a lot of confidence, a lot of courage, a lot of determination, and a lot of passion as well, for doing things. And it's as if you've been waiting, and that's building up, and it's really lovely there. We'll see in your aura a little bit better, and also the tarot readings, because we will be doing it at the end. It's timestamped in the description below. See if there's anything that kicks off mainly in petals 8 and 9 towards the top of the Astroflower, basically. We'll see that's going on there, but there is a huge amount of potential in you, almost like a volcano with magma underneath. But it's not a violent eruption. It could be just a beautiful thing to see, of the magma that gently gets released away, as it were. As you start things. So there's a lot of potential, a lot of you might find. I'm trying to find the negative side to it. I don't like looking at the negative side, but let's look at it anyway. On the negative side, you may feel a little bit frustrated, a little bit held back, a little bit stuck within your world. If you are feeling like that, I would take time out with yourself, not necessarily with other people, with yourself, just to free it up, allow your mind to sort of wander around. Excuse me a second. Wander around, talk to the people that are around you. Talk to the world, that is around you. Get involved with the animals, the animal energies, and the tree energies, and that sort of thing, because they're going to give you clarity of thought, clarity of vision, clarity of direction in your life. So if you're feeling that a little bit that frustration, just go for a walk. I mean that in the nicest of ways. I don't mean like, go on, go for a walk. I mean like, go for a walk, with your dog, and just enjoy the environment of spring gradually getting there and kicking in. Okay, let's see what's going on in your heart chakra. Let's see what's happening there. Wow, there's a lot of socializing. When I said that the solar plexus was like a nice cuddly bear, it seems like you're engaging in an embrace, in a cuddle with the world around you. And I don't necessarily think it's one person, although there is the possibility of meeting that ultimate sort of twin flame sort of scenario, the soulmate scenario. But mainly, I think it's to do with socializing, and I've got a funny feeling as well, it's more to do with work than play. I think it may be a case of networking, connecting with the people that are around you in order to open up the opportunities. And it's almost as if like you've been off on holiday, you might have been off on holiday for 2 or 3 weeks, vacation as you call it in America, I think. You've been off on vacation, you're chomping at the bit to get back in the saddle and start working again. It's a little bit like that, and that ferocious networker that you are, and being very social about things. I think that could be opening up things. I also think there's an opportunity there to open up creative sides to you. So it could be sort of like making jewelry or painting or that sort of thing. Doing a bit of creative stuff within you that actually could open opportunities for you within the workspace. So you could end up finding yourself saying, "Well, look, I love doing this jewelry. I think I'm going to do jewelry and open up a beach cabin to sell them at, down at the local beach or whatever." That sort of thing. It seems like it's that sort of thing. It needs to open up your heart basically to the possibilities of tomorrow. I think that's possibly that's the thing that's sort of running through that heart chakra. Let's just have a look at the third eye and the throat. Yeah, that's a good reflection of the sacrum. I think you're very focused at the moment without being obsessed with what's going on. It's just being focused about doing things correctly, being in the right place, being at the right time, enjoying your life, but also working hard. You know, there is that sort of logical aspect to your life, and that's going to be really important going through this month with the collective that is really connecting things together. So yeah, I think that's going to be really helpful for you. On your crown chakra, I think it's the crown chakra is you've got a semi-vase shape. If you see the crown chakra on Egyptians, they go out like a vase. They sort of go like that, like almost like a, you know, like a trumpet, like a daffodil in a way, a bulbous daffodil at its base. But yeah, it's much more straight. Yours is much more straight, so it's really defined within your consciousness. I think it's very clear about how you want things or what you want. I think it's more a case of what you want. It's now a question of how do I get that, and I think that's where your heart is looking. And so I would encourage your heart to follow your heart in where you're going in life, because if you go into that and you follow that heart, you're going to open doors. You're going to open possibilities within your life, and you'll look back in sort of 6 to 8 months and kind of go, wow, didn't think I'll be here, but I'm so glad I am. You know, you're really going to enjoy it. Really, really nice. And that's when that potential is going to ignite within you. It's probably going to ignite really at the end of March. We'll see that in the tarots at the top of the Astroflower. Let's just go onto your aura now, and let's see what's going on here. So there seems to be a major realization within the first 10 days, almost about yourself, or more about how you connect with the world around you. It's a real sort of, oh, right, sort of moment. You know, a bit of a dolt moment, and it's more of a realization of the outside world than you, I think, and it's how you connect with the outside world. It's a realization that's going to feed into something else, though. That's the thing. And as you're coming through your birthday, that could be the transition that you're looking at. Yeah, right at the end of the month. I think right at the end of the month, that's when it connects to your consciousness. And all of a sudden, that potential in your solar plexus can be released. Now, I would have thought it's going to be around about, we're talking about the 25th to the end of the month, I think. That period there. It'd be very interesting to see what comes out in the very top of this Astroflower tarot reading. Yeah, but I'd be very conscious of that. There doesn't seem to be anything untoward on your chakras. There's no sort of impingement from the outside world. I think you're very much in control of what you're doing if you so desire. If you are not, I would definitely take time out, going for a walk, recalibrating things just with nature around you. It's going to make you see things very clearly, as I said earlier on, and that's going to give you that obvious direction to take. Once you realize it, you've got to go ahead and do it. You know, you've got to start working it out within you how it can actually happen. And then when your birthday hits, that's when you start putting the physically the plans into action. Okay, so you know it looks actually really good for you, Pisces. It's a month that's calm but productive, or calm but productive, almost calm but innovative. That's, I think, innovative more than productive for you. Let's just see what the here we go. We've got the overall energies here. We've got the karmic message for your relationship side and the karmic message for your material side of life. Let's just see what the overall energy is for this magical month of March. Yeah, carrying a lot. I think this is talking about the solar plexus. Carrying a lot. I do believe you're carrying a lot within that solar plexus. You've got a huge amounts of potential. This is what this is on the back of this here, of this ox or yak or whatever it is. Cow. I love cows. I really do love cows. I'll stop there because I'll get. Yeah, I love cows. Anyway, you've got this huge amounts of potential that is within you. It could be through what you've learned, maybe, through exams you've passed or through life experiences and etc. But you're actually coming to a stage where that you've been on that journey and you've accumulated. And now what are you going to do with that accumulation, those things that you have accumulated? How can they be best served in your life? This is the month here to try it out, to put your wares out. It's like you've been making jewelry, you love making jewelry, and all of a sudden you've packed up your jewelry stuff, you're going down the beach to sell it. You've been accumulating. That's what it seems to be like. Let's see what's going on the relationship side. Let's see if there's anything that sort of comes out. Well, this is your karmic message here. So it's a karmic message to an ascension moment for you. So it's moving on within your relationships. And I think this is where the heart chakra comes in, because we did have around the heart chakra, we had the social bit where it's connecting with people, sort of doing networking as well and that sort of thing. But there is a case of a realization within all of this where you have been called to a direction within your relationships that are around you. As I say, I think this is learning to listen or to hear that calling, which is going to play out by the end of the month. I think this is the beginning of the month. This is this calling, maybe that what I said was in the first week of realization. And how is that going to play out at the end? That's going to be the interesting thing. Let's see what the karmic message is on your financial sort of side. Ace of Wands, lots of ideas stimulating through you at the moment, giving you a lot of passions, a lot of good directions to go in. Yeah, the karmic thing is to explore all those avenues of possibilities that are within you. Let's just see what this first week is. Let's see if we can bring anything out of what this moment is for you in this first coming week. Judgment and Hierophant next to each other. The Hierophant is, and Lovers as well. This could be a realization. Hierophant can be a marriage card as well. So might realize you're falling in love. It might be a case that you're falling in love with someone that you didn't realize you were falling in love with. And then all of a sudden one day it just kind of goes, my word, actually, do you know what? Sort of thing. And what you're doing is you're being called to your mission. The Hierophant knows the mission. Those are learning curve. Each step is a lesson that the Hierophant learns in order to reach its higher self. And often you become a teacher. The Hierophant is a teacher as well. So it expresses and conveys a mythology of getting to your heart's desires. And this is what that realization is this week. Let's just see if there's what's going on the financial sort of side, on the material side of your life. See what the first week is holding for you there. Well, 10 of Swords. Then we got 2 10s. The best thing about this is, I think this is the frustration we were talking about earlier on, about I want to get started, I want to get moving, I want to get it going. And that's causing you a bit of pain. But it's the end of that. And that's that realization within you where you're kind of going, do you know what? I'm not going to be a financial advisor anymore. I'm going to sell jewelry down on the beach because why not? That sort of thing. It's a sort of like, I'm not sure if it's that drastic, to be honest. But I think there's realizations within you. And this is the first week that's going to be realizing it. I've got a funny feeling it's going to be pushed by your relationship side, by your emotional sort of side, which is going to demand your material side to follow. Okay, so let's just see what's going on the second week. Okay, so these realizations, it is the start of a journey, and the reason that it's healthy boundaries on the start of a journey is a case of saying, okay, I've done this, I'm not going to go back to that, therefore I'm going to put in that boundary so then I can notice myself if I go back that way. I think you've got to stop sort of maybe saying, and I think this could be a mutable thing. You've got to stop sort of saying to you, like, last time it didn't work so well. You've got to stop that, looking back in retrospective. You've got to look forward, and she is looking forward. Just make sure you put in place sort of kind of saying, a little bit of criteria about you and what you enjoy. So then, therefore, you don't waste your time. But I don't think you are. I think you're heading towards love. Maybe it's a case of dropping your barriers a bit as well. That's very, very possible in regards to seeing how your heart is. And that will release that potential that you have in your solar plexus. Two of Swords. There is obviously a difficult decision to be made, according to the Ten of Swords. Do you want to be a financial advisor, or do you want to sell jewellery down at the beach? And you've got to make this thing, but you've got to look at it in every way possible. And this is what I was talking about, going for a walk with nature and stuff like that, so you can see all sides of the situation. I'd be very tentative to look at every angle within your financial world at the moment. If you're looking at making a move, or going for a career, new job, or anything like that, I would really look at every angle in every possible way. Ten of Pentacles, you've just got tens going straight through you here. Look at that, you've only got three of them. And you're running through an Ace of Wands, so it's going to be passion that's driving it for you. I think, as I said earlier on, I don't think it's a good idea to compare to the past. And if you don't compare to the past, you're going to be absolutely bowled over by the social aspect of it all, the interconnection and relationship that you can have on a one-to-one scale with your existing partner or new partner. If it's an existing partner, it's looking at new avenues and realizing, or putting in place where, you don't get on each other's nerves so much. And that could well be the Nine of Wands. And that's that learning curve which you learn down there of maybe life should be a lot funner, a lot more happier, as it were. Let's just see what's going on your financial sort of side, on your material side. This is walking through that portal. It is saying goodbye to the old year and walking into the new year. It's really, it's learning about your calling so you can let go of the past in order to get through. It's a little bit like the camel going through the eye of a needle. It's, that yak ain't going to make it through the eye of the needle. It needs to let go of a lot of things in order to go through that portal, which is the tambourine. The yak ain't going to get through that little tambourine, is he? So, it's getting into that mode. It's getting into that motion of streamlining things. So as you go forward, it's going to be very, very productive for you. Let's just see what the end of the week is. This is what I'm interested in. See what the King of Cups. Absolutely brilliant. This is what you're being elevated to. It is a learning curve, and if you've got healthy boundaries, or even if you bring down those boundaries, maybe all of a sudden you're going to find out you've got abundance and you've got absolutely pure loving harmony around you, a plain sailing. There is work underneath. That's the thing. There's a fish and there's a starfish. Starfish is can go in any direction, very versatile, but at the same time, there's a lot of work going on underneath the starfish that we don't see. And it's a very the sun. That's on the financial side. I think you're going to realise what makes you happy in regards to your job and stuff like that. And you're going to go for it. It's going to be a difficult decision to make at the beginning of the month. There's going to be something that's going to ignite that decision. It's going to need reflection. And then by the 3rd week, which is at the end of your birthday season, around the 21st, you can then start walking forward towards happiness and fun within your life. And that's going to be really good. That's the igniting of this, the solar plexus, all the stuff that you're letting go of, learning curve going up through that way, from the Hierophant and everything like that. What's the overall outcome? How's it all sort of combined together? The Page of Pentacles, learning how to get into longer cycles that are very productive. It starts with a win. You're going to feel very confident and balanced within yourself, harmonious as you go in towards sort of April. And as you do, and that solar plexus and your passion has really kicked into action, you're going to be able to face April in a really, really beautiful condition. It's going to be really beautiful for you, Pisces. Lovely reading. Thank you very much for being with us here on the Astroflower. We have done the collective reading. We've also done some masterclasses that you might want to go and have a look at, which is all to do with energies, also karma and stuff like that, and how the sun interacts, the energy interacts with us as individuals. In the meantime, please do subscribe and click that bell. That's really important. YouTube is being very lenient in the help that they're giving us in life. So anything you can help us with by sharing this video or liking and commentating on this video would be absolutely brilliant. In the meantime, do enjoy Magical March, and don't forget, life should be fun.